Hello, today we're gonna talk all about neo-behaviorism. What is neo-behaviorism? Neo-behaviorism is an approach to psychology that was influenced by logical positivism and focused on creating comprehensive theories and frameworks about behavior. Like those of Edward C. Tolman and Clark L. Hall, through empirically observing behavior and using consciousness and mental events as explanatory tools. So those that stood in opposition to classical behaviorism, which sought to read psychology of mentalistic notions and justifications. Neo-behaviorism supplanted classical behaviorism as the preeminent 20th century experimental psyche program around 1930. So according to Sigmund Couch, its impact started to decline in the 1950s.
Who is Edward Chase Tillman? So, Edward Chase Tillman was an American psychologist, and he was most famous for his studies on behavioral psychology. And he was born in West Newton, Massachusetts, brother of Caltech physicist Richard Chase Tillman. So, Edward Chase Tillman studied at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and received his PhD from Harvard University in 1915. So, most of his career was spent at the University of California, Berkeley, from 1918 to 1954, where he taught the psychology. So, Tolman is best known for his studies of learning in rats using mazes, and he published many experimental articles, of which his paper with Ritchie and Kalish in 1946 was probably the most influential. So, his major theoretical contributions came in his book 1932 book, Purposive Behavior in Animals and Men, and in a series of papers in a psychological review, The Determinants of Behavior at a Choice Point on 1938, and The Cognitive Maps in Rats and Men on 1948, and lastly, The Principles of Performance on 1955. The Tolman latent learning experiment was a study performed by Edward Chase Tillman in 1928. So the experiment was conducted to see if they could learn in a complex environment with no reward and without any apparent reinforcement. So it showed that rats would learn behaviors like pressing a lever to get food even if they were not rewarded for it.
We'll be talking about latent learning. So, what is latent learning? Latent learning is a type of learning in which it is not apparent in the learner's behavior at the time of learning it, but which manifests later when a suitable motivation and circumstances appear. This shows that learning can occur with or without any reinforcement of a behavior. So the most famous example for this is the maze experiment. Imagine you put a rat on a maze and you put a cheese at the end of the maze. So the rat will keep on wandering around the maze to find its cheese until he'll be able to finish the maze. And here we use reinforcement, which is the food or the cheese, so that the rat will be able to find its way out to the maze. Second one that we will be talking about is about the cognitive map. Cognitive map help people recall and learn information about the physical environmental and are created by picking up on environmental signals and cues. It also helps us to navigate familiar and unfamiliar places. So for example, here is I'm in the airport and I'm about to travel in a different country. But before I can go to the airplane, I have to check in my bags, to go on to the security, to the immigration, and all the stuffs that need to be processed first. So of course, I will be looking for the airport signals so that I would be able to know which direction I should be taking. That would be all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. So let's get to know first who is Albert Bandura. Albert Bandura is a Canadian-born American psychologist and originator of social cognitive theory who is probably best known for his modeling study on aggression, referred to as the Boo doll experiment, which demonstrated that children can learn behaviors through the observation of adults. What was Albert Bandura's experiment? So in 1961, Bandura carried out his famous Boo doll experiment, a study in which researchers physically and verbally abused a clown-faced inflatable toy in front of preschool-aged children, which led to later mimic the behavior of the adults by attacking the doll in the same fashion. So kani siya na time kani si Bandura, ihang theory is nagimo siya doll, ay naig doll niya ang like nainaw clown face nga naong gimuan clown face nga naong, and in that kanang scene kay ang subject niya is mga preschool children. So ang kani siyang popular experiment kay gi-acquired ni siya later na ang study na find out na dito na nakita nila na ang mga preschool children kay ma-acquire nila ang kana nga behavior by imitation and observation. So ang gibuhat sa mga researchers sa bubble doll is preschool children man ilahang subjects. Ang gibuhat sa researchers are kanang naay kanang dolls tubang na ilang physically abuson or verbally abuson, and then later after na mo say gibuhat sa mga preschool children. So kung unsa ang kani nga experiment kay ang later na find out nila nga ang mga children is kanang makakuha sila og kanang attitude sa adults by imitating and observing kung unsa ilang makita sa adults. So what did I derive from Albert Bandura's experiment, which is bubble doll experiment, na ang mga children they are able to learn through the observation of adult behavior, and kani sad ang kani pud siya na pamatuod na by observation and modeling kay it plays a primary role in how and why people learn, especially nga si theory ni Bandura is may go beyond siya sa perception of learning na being the result of direct experience with the environment. So kana pa tong giingon sa mga kanang bata, kanang kita dapat ilahang role model kay kung unsa ilahang makitaan is they will eventually follow it, especially nga ilahang development at that kanang ages like 5 to 6 or 5 to 10 may is kanang crucial pa, so they need proper guidance kay kanang kung sa ilang moto kung sa ilang makitaan musod to ilang sundon labi na wala siya proper guidance kay magtujo siya nga ang kana is sakto na lang na all the way, but we as adults kanang should guide kanang the children labi na in developing stage para they will soon learn kung unsay sakto or sayo in their own judgment.